Hello guys, Rachel here. We're going to continue our master classes, only that we're now in quarantine, we have to do it from home. Today we're talking about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. My handwriting. So you can call it EQ. I think most of us are well cognizant with IQ, but today we're going to talk about EQ. So most people have a different understanding of what EQ is or what emotional intelligence is. Some people think it's being soft, being humble, being emotional, being fragile. But emotional intelligence, I would call it the individual ability to recognize their own emotions and emotions of others, and then use this. I can just put for you the keywords to this. So it is the ability of an individual to recognize the emotions and emotions of others and discern this feeling and label it appropriately to guide them to think, to act, to respond, to adjust to situations or new environments or even achieve goals. So the keywords we can have understanding. So we have own emotions and emotions of others. We can call it others' emotions. And then you use this information to discern feelings. You don't judge, you just discern. You discern feelings to guide you in your thinking, in your adjustment or responding to situations or adapting. You can call it adjusting to new situations or to new environments. And also you can use this information to achieve goals that you have set. I'll give you an example of how this can be done. Imagine you are like going into a different environment. Maybe you have a project with a group of people that you really don't know about and in a different environment setup. So you can use this emotional intelligence to read the situations or to understand the vibe, understand how people do their things and how they relate, to help you to adjust to that environment, and then you achieve the goal that had taken you in the first place. So after getting this one, we're going to go to the 4 pillars of emotional intelligence. This we are going to use the insights from the emotional intelligence by it's a book by Daniel. You can go and get it. 4 pillars of EQ. Then you can use the reference of it is called EQ or emotional intelligence by. You can go and get it. It's a very good book. So we shall draw something like that. This will help us to really understand the emotional intelligence. So we have these 4 boxes. 1, we're going to talk about self-awareness. I don't know if my handwriting really can be read. So we're going to talk about self-awareness. So in self-awareness here we're going to have like self-assessment. You need to understand what triggers your emotions, what pisses you off, what makes you happy, what makes you excited, what makes you moody, what makes you ambitious. So all about this, it is assessment. We can call it self-assessment. So it's about you, you understand who you are. And then after this, we're going to go to self-management. In self-management, here mostly we are having self-control, self-regulation. When I get pissed, what do I do? Do I punch everyone in the face? Do I run? When the project fails, how do I react to that? Do I go back and see what made it to fail, and then I see how can I work on that, or I just put my tools down and I give up? So this one helps you to like regulate yourself or self-control. You know you're pissed, but how do you go about that? So we can say self-control or self-regulation. And then when you're done with yourself, then you go to the social part of it. So we're going to have social awareness. Social awareness, we're going to have empathy here. Empathy, you just put yourself into someone's shoes. Why are they acting the way they are acting? Why do they do what they do? What are their feelings? Why are they reacting this way? So you just put yourself into their shoes to understand where they're coming from. So when you're done with that, we go to relationship management. So in relationship management, this helps you to understand how do you relate with other people, how do you relate with your peers, how do you relate with your teamwork at workplaces, how do you relate with people. So here we're going to talk about one, influence. How do you influence them? Second, do you build bonds? How are your relationships? Do you put people down or you build them? Do you inspire them or you discourage them? So that is how you relate with people. And then we're going to have teamwork. How do you collaborate with the people that you're working with? So when you understand all this, it will help you to, one, to know who you are, to know how you can control these triggers, and to know what other people feel and how to relate with them. So this one, I believe when you master this, you can have the best relationships ever. At work, in your families, in your friends. It's the best time to achieve all the social relations. So when you master this, you can use this at work, at home, in your social life. So we're going to now to talk about how this emotional intelligence, you can use it at work, or you can use it with your teams, like a project you're working on, how you can relate with them. So we can call this emotional intelligence at work. So here you imagine you're heading a certain team, you're working on a certain project, and you're the team leader. We have different types of team leaders, or we have different types of leaders in our workplaces. So we're going to draw something like this, and I'll show you how emotional intelligence and I. So here we're going to call it emotional intelligence management, and then here we're going to have EQ, engagement, or you can call it influence. You can call it influence. So here, basically this one is how do you manage people's emotions now that you have understood how they feel, or do you even understand how they feel, and do you even know how to manage that, or even understanding yourself. And then here is, do you have a skill of influencing them? What we were talking here, do you have a skill of influencing them? So we're going to have something like this. This will present the 4 leaders that we're going to talk about. So one, we're going to talk about, the first one is a leader. Imagine a leader who has low skills in emotional management. They don't understand their team's emotions. They don't understand their own emotions, and they don't know how to relate with that. They don't know how to manage it. And then they also have low skills of influence. So we're going to see what kind of a team they'll be having. One, they're going to have a very demotivated, demoralized, and less productive, because they will just come to work in the morning and then they want to leave in the evening, and they don't care if they've been productive or not. So they don't care. So there are attitudes that you are going to have. You will just hear someone say, I don't care. Even if it's done or not, my leader, even the leader is very demotivating. So they have this thing of come to work and go. And then the second leader that we're going to have is, you find they have very low emotional intelligence management. They don't know how to manage their emotions of others, but they have a high skill of influence. At least they somehow know the politics of influencing others. And then here we can use a leader. Have you worked with someone who wants their things done their way? Like they don't care if you feel different, they don't care how you're going to respond to it, but they just want the job done. They don't care how you feel. So this is someone who really has low emotional management, or they don't know their team skills, but they want to influence. So what is going to happen is we are going to have a low or a less creative team, because they're doing it your way. They're not putting the personal touch to make something interesting, or to add some value in what you're doing, and then it is going to be very disruptive. So most people here, you're going to find them saying, I want this to stop. Or they will be saying, I want to do it my way. But do they ever do it their way? No, because their leader is really into themselves. They don't care about their emotions. And then we're going to go to the third person, where you find they have high emotional management skills, but they have very low influence skills. They really understand their team. They know how their emotions are. They know what pisses them off. They know when they are less productive. They know when they are low, but their skills of influence are a bit low. So this team, we're going to have a team that feels considered. At least they are considered because their leader understands what they are going through, or how they operate, how they work. So we are going to have a creative team, because they can brainstorm, they can sit together and then create things. It's not about their leader. The leader knows how to make them feel comfortable. So we're going to have a creative team, and then we're going to have productive team. It's a very productive team. And then what you're going to hear these guys say, they'll be saying, I'm okay with this. Yeah, I'm really okay with this. My leader might not be as very inspiring like they would have wanted to, but their leader is okay. At least their leader considers them and understands them. And then we have the fourth category, where you find this leader has high emotional management skills, and then still has high influential skills. Like, he's balanced. He knows the emotions and considers them, and then he knows how to influence others. So what we're going to have here, you're going to have, first of all, a very inspired team, very productive, very creative, and motivated. So what you're going to hear with these guys, they'll be saying, I want to make this happen. Like, even if the leader is around or not, they make it happen. That's what they do, because they are enjoying their work and they're enjoying what they're doing. So you know where you belong as a leader. You know which box you're into. And then there's something else that we can talk about emotional intelligence, is when you have understood this, because now in a team, it is very tricky to understand people's emotions. Imagine you have a project that is going on, and maybe you've messed up. The project has not gone as planned. One, some is going to feel guilty, that one who messed up. Another person is going to feel angry because someone messed up their time. Another person is going to feel, what am I doing here? This is wastage of my time. So you need to understand all these emotions. and then make sure that you work on them and then get the team together. So we're going to talk about, let me just put it here so that we can do EQ in communication. So now that you have understood these emotions, these mixed emotions, now you need to communicate to them. You need to make your team come together. You need to make your team get it together. So what we have two types. There is that one that is going to receive feedback, and there's that one who is going to be giving feedback. So we're going to see how you can receive and give feedback using emotional intelligence. So we have the receiver, and we have you can call it a giver. So most people, when they are giving information or when they are giving feedback, it's feedback. It comes in different ways. One, there are those that will give you feedback that is very competitive. There are those that are going to give you the feedback that is bossy. Those that are going to give you feedback that they are criticizing, and those that are going to be complimenting. So there are very kinds of feedback you can get. So one, we're going to talk about the compliments. So someone can give you a compliment, but it is positive, but it cannot tell you how to improve. And then another person is going to give you criticism, but criticism is going to put you down, or it's negative but does not show you how to improve. And then there is another person, the best feedback you can give is constructive criticism, where you find you're telling them the negative part, you're giving it to them in a positive way, but you're emphasizing on the negative. So you can tell them like, oh, I liked how you did this project, but I think if you did it this way, what if you change this? Or what if you do this? What if you do this? It is a suggestion. It's not like, oh, you have failed, just forget it. Or like, I don't like this thing, you just didn't do it well. No, you just compliment what is good and then emphasize on what they should improve. And then someone who is a receiver now, where you don't have a choice, because you're not going to determine how they're going to give you this information. So what you can do is, however way it will come, you just receive it. Negative, positive, so you receive it, don't put it down. Don't be like having a defense mechanism. You put them down so that they don't tell you your mistakes. So just receive it and then analyze that information that you've been given and then work on it to make yourself better. So this is emotional intelligence. I was just giving you an overview, just a small thing, but you can go back and then you can buy this book. It is a very, very good book. It is going to help you. Thank you so much. See you in the next class.